Hey everyone, this is Laura Figures, your host for Freedom Isn't Free podcast. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of a guest that is not only an entrepreneur, a boss, but she served in our military. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Tiffany Taft. Hey T, hey, how are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me on your show, and congratulations on starting your new adventure. I know it's been a challenge, but you did it, and it's going to serve so many well.
Absolutely. Yes, this has definitely been a challenge, but for the podcast, we are here to provide voices for the military service members, veterans, like yourself and their family members. So I'm so happy and honored that you are here to, drop a couple nuggets for our listeners. So Tiffany, you served, and yeah, just let's jump right into it. Tell us
Okay.
about your process behind you joining the military.
Okay, and I'm hoping that this can just be a girlfriend conversation, if you will, about my journey through military and beyond. So, for me, you asked about thought process, and I honestly I don't know that there was any real thought. Now, many years later, I have the benefit of looking back. I think what I was in search of, quite honestly, was a pathway to get me into healthcare and into medicine. And while I had a plan to go to college here locally, to one of the top colleges for medicine, I chose not to go that route. And by doing so, I don't know that I made the right choice. So there were some things happening at home. I think maybe I was just looking to get away from that situation and the quickest way to do it. So when you say thought process, it's how quickly can I get out of this town and away from the situation. And that's not to say that the overall dynamics wasn't great, but I needed a break and I needed to get away. I needed to do something different. And so I was presented with an opportunity to join the military. And I said to them, only if you can get me in a healthcare billet, will I join? And so
Oh,
they worked it out.
okay. So
To
what
leave
did
for
you do?
college.
What did you do in the military?
So I was a hospital corpsman, and after I came out of boot camp, I went to hospital corps school where they literally teach you how to be a nurse. You get all of your nursing skills, and what you don't come out of hospital corpsman school with in terms of experience, you gain that once you get to your duty stations at a hospital or a medical clinic. And so for me, I looking back, because now I had the benefit of maturity and seeing, what I missed and what the recruiters didn't tell me, is that had I been smarter since I was going to college anyway, I would have asked them to send me to nursing school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So it seems like you had a good journey. You got a good
Mm-hmm.
start
Yep.
in the military, and then you made a decision to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Or the decision was made for me. So I was in during Desert Storm, and I was actually injured, actually on my way to deployment. And so this, I guess the second time when it was a conflict, and then it turned into Desert Storm, and I was actually injured on the way for deployment. And so I had to stay back. I was a Fleet Marine Corpsman, which means I was a frontliner that would support Marines in combat. And because I was injured, I was not going to be able to be deployed with my unit. And so I had to stay back and physically rehab and all of that. And once the time came for, I'll say 8, 9 months later for me, they said, well, you're fully rehabbed. It's time for you to go. And they were still in the wartime. It's time for you to go back. And I opted to get out because I had crushed my left femur,
oh wow,
hardware in my leg. I
wow.
know what it means to take care of my Marines and being their doc, as I'm called. I would not be responsible for the lives of others that I couldn't save should my leg fail me in combat. So I opted to get out.
Wow. So the ending of your military career was not something that you clearly did not plan at
No,
all.
no.
Um, so you leaving the military and now you having to transition
Mm-hmm.
into the civilian world. Like, what were your first steps? What was going through your head of like, what do I do now?
Well, so I went into the military at 18. I went into boot camp at 18 and came out just shy of 21, 22. And from there, honestly, I don't know that I was thinking, what am I going to do? I got married when I came out. I got married at 22. I married a military person. And so I was still in there, but now I'm on the other side of being a military spouse. And from there, I knew I had to work and I still wanted to go to school. So I used that opportunity to use some of my military benefits to start school and start working. And so I got a job as a civil servant and did that for a few years while I went to school.
Okay, and so what did you end up getting your degree in school?
So my undergrad is in healthcare management because I love, ever since the age of 6, I've loved all things medicine and healthcare. I had a uncle of mine that was a physician. He was in med school at the time when I was 6, and he came home and put the stethoscope around my neck, let me listen to my heart, and I was in love with medicine from that point. And so I studied, which is why I said I wanted to be a hospital corpsman in the Navy or a nurse, even. Um, I studied my degree in healthcare management because I thought then if I wasn't going to be on the clinical side, maybe I could do the business of healthcare. And I was thinking long term, how could I use this degree to still work in a field that I would enjoy doing? After I got the undergrad, I went on and got a master's degree in healthcare administration, but also IT because people said, oh, be diverse. And IT technology was coming up during the time. This was back in the early 90s. IT was really, technology, I should say, was really taking off in healthcare. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'll do that. So I have a dual degree, IT and healthcare management. And then my final degree, my terminal degree, I am Gen IT, so general IT, all things IT, with a specialization in cyber. So I basically can work in any industry, whether it's technology, business, legal, healthcare, it doesn't matter.
Well rounded, really well
Yeah,
rounded person.
because all businesses run with technology now, and
Technology,
kind
absolutely.
of security. So, yeah. So
So
that's
then,
what I have.
so then from you loving medicine, um, how did you get into your entrepreneurship journey? How did this happen?
Yeah. Well, so the funny thing is, and I always tell this story because now my entrepreneurship is more in holistic health and wellness services. And so, because I started out in Western medicine, I come from that clinical background. I know what drugs, what medications, what surgeries, lifestyle, um, things that we do to ourselves as individuals and how we operate. And when we go into that Western medicine system, the limitations, if you will. And so I'm not talking down about Western medicine, but when you compare it to its alternative, its complement, there are some distinct benefits to both systems. And I always tell my clients, um, never stop taking medications or not doing the surgery because there's a time and a place for everything. But for most of us, it's lifestyle choices and issues that we have taken on as to why we have dis-ease in the body. And so my entrepreneurship venture takes me into more of the alternative complementary therapies to Western medicine, where I provide and coach individuals through their health journeys and helping them really understand root causes and different ways, not discounting the Western medicine because they still take their medications or they still do the surgeries if they need to. But if they're able to adjust their lifestyles and make better or different choices that can improve their health, those are the services that I use and to help them provide
Yeah,
to get them through that journey.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that everybody needs a little bit of medicine in their life, but
Mm-hmm.
ain't nothing like some good old yoga, some good
Mm-hmm.
old therapy, some good
Mm-hmm.
old other side that I think a lot of people don't like to dabble in. But
Yeah.
um, so a part of your entrepreneurship journey, um, like what are some of the things that you've seen? You know, you've been in the military, you transitioned out, now you're starting this entrepreneurship journey. What are some of the things that you've seen? Not so much just failures, but successes.
Yeah. So I look at it as opportunities to grow and exceed expectations. So again, when I came out, it was early on. I think a lot of the benefits and access to different opportunities that veterans may have now, I didn't have, when I was coming out of the military. And I certainly wasn't in the mindset of thinking about starting, my business, my practice, and I became an entrepreneur just in 2004. So for me, it's, while it's been 16 plus years now, I haven't always been an entrepreneur since I came out. But for those that are coming out of the services now, there is a much easier path if they have that desire to have their own and start their own legacy. And that is one thing that I wish, I had thought about in my 20s because I would be so much more further than I am now in the process. But I think each of us have our own journey and things happen for us when they're supposed to happen. And I might not have been in the right frame of mind to handle it and progress as I'm figuring the path out now.
Yes, but you have arrived, Dr. Tiffany Taft. You have
Not quite, but
arrived.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It has definitely been a journey. I have enjoyed every minute of it. It has not been an easy journey either, and some hard lessons that I've had to learn. But certainly, there is a wealth of information and opportunity available to veterans in this space if they're interested in having their own.
So, opportunities you spoke of. What about people? Give me some people that have influenced you through this process of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. So I think for me, at the very foundation has always been my mother. My mother has always been my biggest cheerleader through my successes, but also my failures. And I think have instilled in me the ability to know when to step back when something's not working and figure out how I need to adjust myself in order to move forward. Always keeping, for me, it is important. I believe in God to keep God in all of my work. So prayer is very heavy in the work that I do in terms of the vision, the mission of what I do, the purpose of, and the reason why I do the work that I do. I pray over all of that. And so, again, even in those spaces, you have to trust the process, right? Just because you pray for it doesn't mean it's going to show up right away. And it may not show up how you envisioned it showing up. So you always have to be kind of plugged in, tuned in to looking for those answers. So, one of the things I do is meditate and pray. And so prayer is when you literally are waiting for the answer. So you say the prayer and then you wait. And it doesn't mean that it's coming right away again, but it's coming. And you just have to be ready when the response comes.
And so, is this something that you practice every day? This meditation and prayer, is this something that is a part of your daily activities?
It is. And I think for me, being in the complementary and alternative therapies for health. So when I serve my community, I'm coming in contact with so many different individuals with so many different, um, I'll say, issues or challenges themselves. And so I always want to be able to show up in my best self. And one way I do to prepare myself is through meditation. The meditation is for me, but it's also for the potential people that I will come in contact with to make sure that I can be fully present with whatever it is that they need, but also be in a place to serve myself.
Um, so I think of energy, Tiffany, when I
Mm-hmm.
think of, coming in contact with people and you covering yourself. And when you
Mm-hmm.
spoke about prayer and meditation, I know for me, energy is huge.
Mm-hmm.
If I get, a bad energy vibe from someone, I have to take a second. I
Yeah.
have to remove myself. I have to get myself right again. And it might take a couple days. It might
Mm-hmm.
take a couple hours. But I kind of feel like, when you're in a room and you're coming into a room that you don't know exactly what the situations are, those
Yeah.
therapies that you spoke about and the
Mm-hmm.
energy in the room, I literally I have to go back and go into my hiding spot and cleanse
Mm-hmm.
myself and get myself right. And when you said meditation,
Yeah.
it works. It works, and so does prayer. And
Mm-hmm.
um, people have to understand they are responsible for their actions and everything that they do. And so, if you take the time to heal yourself, if you take the time to meditate, really,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. And the meditation allows you to focus your thoughts. And the prayer allows you the space to vocalize your need or express your need or your desire while you wait on the response. And, we are all, especially veterans, depending on their experiences while in the military or post military, there's so many different thoughts and ways we are engaged in our day to day, right? And so finding quiet spaces, I like to call them points of stillness in your day, whether that's at the top of the day, the middle of the day, end of the day, whatever works, but finding just, even if it's 5 minutes, to just be still with something will do a world of good for your overall well-being. And so those are the types of things that I try to offer, the clients that I see as an overall part of their mind, body, spirit well-being. And with veterans that you've come in contact, there's a whole list of conditions
oh yes, absolutely,
veterans deal with, and not
absolutely.
everybody copes the same way. And so things like meditation and Tai Chi or Qigong, which are alternatives, and there's science in it. So I'm not some woo woo doctor and I'm not making it up. There's evidence. This is evidence based research that have been done on the importance of massage, the importance of yoga, the importance of Tai Chi, the importance of Qigong, the importance of energy work. So there's study. If you are interested in it, read about it. Chinese medicine, there's a whole host of other potential tools that you can put in your toolkit that the veterans can use to support their overall health.
Tiffany, this is what I'm hearing. That I need to have you back to actually come and speak to my listeners about this, because today, of course, we're just talking about your transition. But
Yeah,
oh my gosh, how impactful!
yeah.
I mean, people really don't understand that you don't always have to pop a pill.
No, you don't. And I'm not telling, and again, let me be clear. I am not telling people not to pop the pill if they've been prescribed. But what you do need to do is start asking,
Questions,
why are you popping it? How long have you been popping it?
absolutely.
How are there other ways to address the issues for which you're trying to address that pill for, right? That pill is synthetic. There might be a different or an alternative that can support the same thing that pill is doing for you. And at some point, for some pills, we build up a resistance anyway. And so they stop working. How many veterans have you heard just say, yeah, I take these pain pills, but I'm taking
too many, Tiffany.
they're taking more because the pain is still there and it's
Yes.
not quite as effective as
Yep.
first started doing it. So do we need to change the pill? Do we need to change the dose? Do we need to reassess what's really going on in the body? Like, and it's not just my back hurts, right? Why does your back hurt? Are you stressed out? Are you sitting at a desk? Are you exercising? Like lack of what else is going on or that you're not doing as to, what could be contributing to that back pain? Yes, you were injured. I'm not taking that away from anyone. Yes, you're injured. Yes, you have hardware. I still have hardware in my leg. And yes, I still have arthritic type pain. There are days I'm like, dear God. But the most I have ever taken, because I'm just not a pill popper unless I have to be, it has to be super dire for me to take pain medication. But for those that are in that level of pain, I invite you to look for other potential things around you that could be contributing or intensifying the pain that you have.
Tiffany, you're giving out some great nuggets. Okay. I need to know, where can my listeners connect with you?
So I am on the website, sacredsoulwellness.org. You can follow me on Instagram also at Sacred Soul Wellness, or on Facebook at Dr. Tiffany Taft and the number 1.
Listen, listeners, you need to connect with Tiffany. I'm telling you, she's saving folks out here. Okay. She is saving folks. So, Tiffany, just to wrap up, give me 3 words to describe your experiences as a female veteran entrepreneur.
Yes. And so in this process, like I said, over the years, and even here recently, I've been learning about new and expanded opportunities, I'll say, that are available to me as a female entrepreneur. So my 3 words would be opportunities. There are so many things that, from the financial aspect to the free aspect. And that's the thing I love the most, right? While I am all for investing in things that matter and being intentional about it, if I could get it free, because we all know if you've been an entrepreneur, there are things, simple websites, right, can be super expensive. But it's more than just having the aesthetics of your business. It's knowing how to run and operate and set up a business is critical to making sure you're on the right path to being successful. Something as simple as identifying who your, I call it avatar. Who's that person that you're engaging? Who are the people that are looking for what it is that you have to
Yes,
offer?
yes, yes.
You have to identify that person because everything that you do in your business is structured around that avatar. So if I say my avatar are veterans, I can even be more specific, right? I can say female veterans because that's what I am. I can be more specific than that. Female veterans that are pregnant. I can be more specific. Female veterans between the age of, you know, 30 to 55. So you get the point. Opportunities. Know what you don't know and where the resources are so you can get that information. Pathways. There are so many different paths that you can take along your entrepreneurship journey, right? And so don't expect to get it right the first time unless you're a super genius and you've been dreaming about this since you was a little kid and you have it all written down. But you want to be clear, but you also want to give yourself the space to evolve, right? Be able to change with the market. If nothing else, we've learned during 2020 how to pivot and how to be open to doing something different, that's going to feed the need for you to support yourself, but also serve that avatar that we just talked about. And power is my last one. So I am looking for the power to empower others but also to be the change that I wish to see in my community. So I like to, try to be the example of the things that I desire to see around me in my community. Not to say that, I have all the answers. I certainly learn and have to adjust. Not to say that I'm the perfect picture of health and wellness. No, but I have a lot of resources. I have a lot of knowledge, and I know when to adjust myself when I'm feeling any dis-ease in my body. And I know when I don't know the right answers, I know what people and what tools I need to engage in order to get myself back on track. And so, part of my uh, power is to, in the empowering of others, is to help educate them and provide them with the same level of opportunities. Because all I do, and I tell my clients this all the time, you come to me with the answers. All I do is pose the right questions for you to pull your answers out. I don't fix anything. I don't cure anything. You come to me, and we are a team working collaboratively to get you to your best well life.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany just dropped not only her Facebook and Instagram, which you need to go and follow, and her website, but she just dropped 3 nuggets on the reason why you guys need to contact her. Now, Tiffany, you tell our listeners what is next for you.
Well, so for me, 21 is all about expansion, being intentional and strategic with my business. And so, you asked me the question about being what it means to be a female veteran entrepreneur. I have learned about new resources that are available to me, new opportunities, a new way to set up my business, a new way to grow my business. And so 21 will be the start for me to grow and expand the business in a different.
Yes, grow. Yes, Tiffany.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, I'm being very intentional, and it doesn't mean, running, trying to keep up with my neighbor and doing what they're doing over there. It's laser focused on what it is that I have to offer and that I desire to see out in community and my local community and beyond, because I do work with clients virtually as well. And so I got to have the right foundation and the right structures and that right avatar. And that this I have learned over the last 16 years, where I have been very successful in what it is that I do. It has not fully gleaned me to the level of where I am about to go. And so that's what's next for me.
Boss moves. All I heard was boss moves the whole time. The whole time, Tiffany. You guys listen. Tiffany, give them one more time your contact information so they can reach out to you.
Yes. So you can find me on Instagram at Sacred Soul Wellness, and on Facebook at Dr. Tiffany Taft and the number 1. Or you may visit my website at www.sacredsoulwellness.org.
Hey, you guys, I hope you guys were listening. I know I was. We're going to have Tiffany back because we were just talking about transitioning.
Yes.
Next time we come back, Tiffany, next time you come back, you have to talk to us about the medicine, the therapies, the energy, the yoga, listen, we didn't even get to the all the work that you're doing with pregnant women.
Yeah.
Listen, we just skimmed the surface, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, I just want to thank Tiffany, Dr. Tiffany Taft. Thank you for coming by, stopping by, and dropping all of your nuggets. Again, listeners, please remember, when you see a veteran, thank a veteran. Remember, you guys, freedom isn't free. This is your host, Laura Figures. I'm signing out.